Have you ever wondered if it's possible to pull off the perfect crime? To outsmart everyone, take millions, and just disappear. Today, we're diving into the story of a mastermind who did exactly that. This isn't a movie plot. It's the real-life tale of a fraudster who orchestrated one of the most audacious heists in history and vanished without a trace. We're talking about a level of cunning that leaves investigators, banks, and governments completely baffled to this day. How did they do it? How did one person manage to steal millions and never get caught? Let's set the stage. The world of high finance is a complex web of transactions, regulations, and digital security. It's designed to be impenetrable, but for our phantom fraudster, it was a playground. This individual, whose true identity remains a mystery, didn't use brute force. They didn't crack safes or hold anyone at gunpoint. Their weapon was intelligence, patience, and an almost supernatural understanding of human psychology and systemic loopholes. The scheme began subtly. It wasn't a single, massive theft. Instead, it was a series of meticulously planned, seemingly insignificant actions spread across multiple institutions and countries. Think of it like 1,000 tiny cuts. One of the first moves involved creating a network of shell corporations. These weren't your average, hastily set up companies. Each one was a masterpiece of deception, complete with fake employees, fabricated business histories, and legitimate-looking websites. They were registered in jurisdictions known for their strict banking secrecy laws, making them nearly impossible to trace. This labyrinth of corporate entities was the foundation of the entire operation. It was designed to obscure the flow of money, making it look like legitimate business. With the corporate structure in place, the next step was to gain access. Our fraudster didn't hack into systems in the way you see in movies. Instead, they exploited the weakest link in any security chain: people. Through sophisticated social engineering, they impersonated high-level executives, auditors, and even government officials. They used a combination of deep fake voice technology, spoofed emails, and expertly gathered personal information to build trust. Imagine getting a call from someone who sounds exactly like your CEO, knows the details of your latest project, and asks for a routine fund transfer. Most people wouldn't think twice. This is how they bypassed multi-million-dollar security systems by simply asking for the key. Once inside, the siphoning began. But again, it was done with incredible finesse. They didn't just transfer huge sums of money into one account. That would trigger immediate alarms. Instead, they used a technique known as salami slicing. They skimmed minuscule amounts, often fractions of a cent, from millions of transactions. These amounts were so small that they went completely unnoticed by automated fraud detection systems and human auditors. Over time, these tiny slices accumulated into a massive fortune. It's the digital equivalent of stealing 1 grain of sand at a time until you have a whole beach. The genius of the plan was in its complexity and its patience. The fraudster would move the money through their network of shell companies in a dizzying series of transactions. Money would hop from a bank in Switzerland to a corporation in Panama, then be invested in a real estate project in Dubai, before being converted into cryptocurrency and moved again. Each step was designed to add another layer of confusion, another dead end for anyone trying to follow the trail. They were always 10 steps ahead. When investigators in one country would finally get a warrant to look into an account, the money was already long gone, moving through a different jurisdiction on the other side of the world. So, how did they avoid getting caught? First, there was no physical evidence. No fingerprints, no witnesses, no paper trail that led to a real person. After accumulating a fortune estimated to be in the hundreds of millions, they simply stopped. The shell companies were systematically dissolved. The digital infrastructure was wiped clean. The phone numbers and email addresses ceased to exist. The fraudster didn't cash out in a flashy way. There were no Lamborghinis or mansions purchased under a fake name. The money was likely converted into untraceable assets like precious metals, art, or bearer bonds, or held in cryptocurrency wallets with no name attached. The investigation was one of the largest and most expensive in financial history, involving agencies like the FBI, Interpol, and multiple national police forces. They analyzed terabytes of data, interviewed hundreds of people, and followed leads across dozens of countries. But they found nothing. Every path led to a digital dead end or a shell company run by a director who was, themselves, a fabrication. The case remains open, a massive, unsolved puzzle in the annals of crime. Who was this person? Were they an insider with intimate knowledge of the banking system? A state-sponsored operative? A lone genius? We may never know. The story serves as a chilling reminder of the vulnerabilities in our increasingly digital world. It shows that the most effective criminals aren't always the ones who use force, but the ones who understand the system better than the people who created it. They exploited not just technology, but human trust and the bureaucratic slowness of international cooperation. While financial institutions have since implemented more robust security measures, the legend of this phantom fraudster lives on. A ghost who walked into the global financial system, took millions, and walked out, leaving behind nothing but a mystery and a very expensive lesson. Let me know your theories down in the comments. It's a fascinating case to think about. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this dive into the world of high-stakes crime, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more incredible true stories. See you in the next video.